Imagine discovering an unwanted guest living in your basement, a reality for one unsuspecting homeowner. In the quiet suburbia, nestled among manicured lawns and white picket fences, there sat a home like any other. But within its walls, a story brewed that was anything but ordinary. The homeowner, a man of routine, began to notice oddities disrupting the rhythm of his everyday life. His favorite snacks would vanish from the pantry, the soft padding of footsteps echoed in the dead of the night, and household items seemed to shift locations on their own. As days turned into weeks, these strange occurrences multiplied, transforming from mere annoyances into an eerie puzzle. The house seemed to hum with an unseen presence, a silent tenant that danced just beyond the edges of perception. Driven by a mounting unease, the man decided to investigate the one place he seldom ventured, the basement. As he descended the creaky stairs, the air grew colder, the silence heavier. It was there, in the dimly lit underbelly of his own home, that he stumbled upon a chilling discovery. Hidden behind stacks of forgotten storage boxes, a makeshift bed lay nestled in the corner. Around it were scattered personal belongings, a ragged backpack, a worn-out pair of shoes, a few dog-eared books. The reality of his situation sank in like a cold stone. His home, his sanctuary, had been invaded. Someone had been living there, right under his nose, unbeknownst to him. The very walls that were meant to keep him safe had betrayed him, harboring a stranger in their depths. The man was left grappling with a terror that was profoundly human. The violation of his privacy, the intrusion of his personal space, the shattering of his sense of safety. His own home had become the setting of a real-life horror story, one that didn't rely on spectral apparitions or supernatural phenomena. A chilling reminder that sometimes, horror doesn't come from the supernatural but from the very real and very human. From an unseen tenant to an unheard cry for help, our next tale takes us to the heart-wrenching story of the forgotten child. This is not a tale of the supernatural but one of human horror, the kind that chills us to our core because it's all too real. In a quiet, unassuming neighborhood where the biggest excitement was the annual summer fair, a chilling discovery was made. A child, not more than 6 years old, was found locked away in the basement of a picturesque suburban home. Forgotten, abandoned, and left to survive on their own, the child was the embodiment of a living nightmare. The child's survival was nothing short of a miracle. Emaciated and frail, the child had been living on scraps and rainwater that leaked into the basement. The room was devoid of light, the only semblance of day and night being the distant sounds of the world above. The child's world was a cold, concrete floor, and the haunting echoes of their own voice bouncing off the bare walls. The investigation that followed shook the small town to its core. The parents, pillars of the community, were found guilty of the most heinous neglect. The mother, a respected schoolteacher, and the father, a beloved local doctor, had hidden a terrible secret right beneath their feet. The horror of this tale lies not in ghouls or ghosts, but in the stark reality of the child's isolated existence. The basement, a place meant for storage or an extra living space, was turned into a prison cell. The parents, who were supposed to be the protectors, became the monsters. Their crime, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can reside in the human heart. But this is also a story of resilience. The child, despite the unimaginable adversity, survived. They clung on to life with a tenacity that was both heartbreaking and awe-inspiring. The child's spirit refused to be snuffed out, their will to live stronger than the chains that bound them. The child, now known as the forgotten child, became a symbol of survival and resilience. They were taken in by a loving family, given a second chance at life. The road to recovery was long and arduous, but the forgotten child did not give up. They thrived under the care and love showered upon them, their spirit unbroken. As we delve into these stories of horror and macabre, let us not forget the strength of the human spirit. The Forgotten Child, though a tale of unimaginable horror, is also a story of survival and resilience. A tale that forces us to confront the monsters that can lurk in the most ordinary of places. A tale of survival and resilience, The Forgotten Child reminds us of the monsters that can lurk in the most ordinary of places. The final tale for today brings us to the sinister world of the unknown, as we delve into the mystery of the basement tapes. A tale that intertwines with the uncanny, laced with an enigma that still remains unsolved. Picture this, an ordinary house with an ordinary basement. A basement just like any other, yet within its confines, it held a secret that would send chills down the spines of those who dared to uncover it. A collection of tapes, each one holding footage that was unnerving to say the least. The tapes were found by the new homeowner, a man who had recently moved into the house. One day, while rummaging through the basement, he stumbled upon an old box. Inside, a collection of tapes, each labeled with a date, but no description. Curiosity piqued, he decided to see what these tapes held. From the very first tape, it was clear that these were not ordinary home videos. Each tape contained footage that was more disturbing than the last. Images that were not meant for the faint of heart, scenes that were eerie, and sounds that were downright chilling. From strange apparitions to unexplainable phenomena, the tapes held a wealth of unsettling content. The mystery deepened with each viewing. Where did these tapes come from? Who recorded them? And most importantly, what was the purpose behind them? The homeowner tried to find answers, but the tape's origin remained as elusive as the disturbing content they contained. As he delved deeper into the tapes, the homeowner found himself caught in a web of the unknown. Each tape left him with more questions than answers. The more he watched, the more he was drawn into the eerie world of the basement tapes. The tapes seemed to have a strange power, an ability to instill fear and unease in those who viewed them. Each viewing left the homeowner feeling more disturbed, more unsettled. The tapes were like a Pandora's box. Once opened, there was no turning back. Despite the fear and the unanswered questions, the homeowner could not stop watching. The tapes held him in their grip, a grip that was both terrifying and intriguing. He was caught in a paradox of fear and fascination, drawn to the tapes yet repulsed by them at the same time. The basement tapes, they remain a mystery, a set of disturbing footage with an unknown origin. A chilling testament to the power of the unknown and the fear it can instill. They serve as a reminder that there are things out there that we may never understand, things that are beyond our comprehension, things that lurk in the shadows, waiting to be discovered, waiting to instill fear. The basement tapes, a bone-chilling testament to the power of the unknown and the fear it can instill. From unwanted tenants to forgotten children and disturbing tapes, basements can hold more than just storage boxes and old furniture. They can be the stage for truly terrifying tales that chill the spine and unsettle the mind. As we've journeyed through these stories, we've confronted the eerie reality of the unseen tenant. A person who made a home in the shadows, their existence marked only by strange noises and small disappearances. It's a chilling reminder of how easily our own homes can become the setting for a horror story. Then we delved into the tale of the forgotten child, a narrative that brings a shudder of revulsion. The echoes of his cries still ring in our ears, a haunting testament to the horrors that can be hidden away, out of sight and out of mind, in the darkness beneath our homes. And who could forget the spine-tingling saga of the basement tapes? Those disturbing recordings, their origins shrouded in mystery and their content steeped in terror, serve as a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most mundane corners of our lives. These are not the fictional horrors of a Hollywood movie or the imagined terrors of a best-selling novel. These are real stories, drawn from the depths of human experience that remind us of the darkness that can dwell right beneath our feet. So, as we leave these stories behind, perhaps you too have a tale to tell. A strange noise in the night, a chilling encounter, or a mystery that sends a shiver down your spine. If you do, we'd love to hear it. After all, the most terrifying stories are often those that are closest to home. Remember, sometimes the real horror stories are not those that come from books or movies, but those that happen right beneath our very feet.